All right. Let's get to work. Work. Conglomerate. Striving for our goals, man. Striving for our goals.
To me. So bored. Did somebody say pancake party?
Make sleepovers crust easy.
How long will this take? I'm kind of in a rush.
Just 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Just 10 minutes.
Get out. Maytag knows that while you may look like your pet,
Look at us.
you don't actually want to wear your pet's hair. Woof. Powerful pet hair removal with the Pet Pro system. Maytag. Conquer pet hair like a pro.
Rise up and fight for your freedom.
How important is it for us to improve the quality of our emotional and mental health in all relationships?
If people are wondering how is mental health service or therapy going to help me navigate relationships in a healthy way, when you feel good about yourself, other people will feel good about that too. You know, when things are not going well for you and you're struggling with a variety of different mental health challenges, you may approach relationships from a fear of rejection. And when you're fearful of being rejected, your behavior changes. You start doing things that are not really authentic because all you're trying to do is stopping this person from leaving you, rather than accepting, maybe I want this person to really see me, and if they walk away, then they're not the one for me. If things are good with you, as in you have a solid sense of self-worth, then you'll start really believing in, I do deserve X, Y, and Z, and I won't tolerate A, B, and C. I've said it so many times, and I'll say it so many times more, is how you feel about yourself directly impacts your behavior in your relationships. People are drawn to good energy, good vibes, and our own sense of self-worth and self-esteem is directly related to who we allow into our lives and the kind of treatment that we will accept.
To me. But why? Like, why? Because I'm very passionate about it. I love it, and I'm not in control. In business, I'm passionate about it, but I'm in control. That's why I want to buy the jet, so I can just take control of this thing, piss me off. I also believe that if you care about things that are silly, it's actually very healthy. I'm very hot on this.
Tell me more.
How do you define what's considered silly and not silly?
What's not silly is like, politics is not silly because it affects people.
Yeah.
Sports is silly.
Is work silly?
I think work is, and this is why I'm treading lightly, because you see where I was about to go. Like, everybody has to define it. I think living within your means is not silly.
Garyvee is he a Jets fan?
Like, while I'm on this tangent, let's get to the punchline, because we're going pretty deep here. Everybody on earth gets happier if they live within their means. I think the credit card has a chance to go down as one of society's biggest vulnerabilities. Like in history, it's a new invention.
Yeah.
We've only been chilling with the credit card for 50 years. Like, I think the credit card is, again, it's not the credit card's fault. It actually can be remarkable if you know what you're doing. Yeah. I just think most people don't know what they're doing. I think people don't live within their means. That's why I always attack the American dream of owning your house. I love it. Fine, it's an asset. I get it. But motherfucker, people don't play it right. Everybody maximizes their deposit, gives them no cash flow. Anything tweaks off, now they're living paycheck to paycheck. So I attack fancy cars and watches. Kudos to all the fucking big shout out to all the gangster entrepreneurs who have built something sustainable that allows them to afford a $500,000 watch, and they don't even think about it the way most people think about buying a $5, soda. I worry about the people that bought it, that if God forbid something gets fucked up or the get quick rich thing gets fucked up, they have to sell that to a pawn shop and lose 80%. Like, it's nuanced. Live within your means. Have 4 Lambos. If that's within your means, easy peasy, and you like them. I live that. I buy very expensive pieces of cardboard. I would argue more people universally think that watches and Lambos are better than trading cards.
Thank you.
Too many people don't live within their means. That's what's killing. So is a job silly? If you're living deeply within your means, it can be. You got tons of savings. You don't need a job for 5 years. If you guys
Stop dreaming, start booking. Your next trip is just a deal away on Priceline. Priceline.
Boom, baby.
eBay, things people love.
The best part of it is that you can spend more time with patients, not just listening to them and trying to get better diagnoses, but also spend a lot more time educating them on what they can do to reverse some of their conditions and to prevent them from happening. If you have a close relationship with your doctor and you trust them, then you can work together better.
My doctor's office with a filing system from the 80s has my social.
Think of all the places that can expose your info. LifeLock monitors millions of data points for identity theft. If there's a problem, we fix it. Guaranteed.
If you guys, I don't know your situation, both of you had 10 years worth of salary saved. My intuition is you'd be less concerned about losing your job or stressed about it because you would have optionality. I think people do not realize how much money they spend on how many things during the course of the year and how much it is gone. Like, people don't think about savings. And everyone's like, inflation, and we got fucked by the boomers, and it's no accountability. You know what the boomers think? The boomers think, like, I didn't go out to eat every day. We cooked at home. You know what the boomers think? They're like, we didn't have 7 persons. I had 1 person for 9 years.
I think some people would argue life is short, so I'm just going to do whatever I want.
And stop complaining. You pick your short path, shut your fucking mouth. By the way, on the record, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Don't complain. By the way, a lot of people are right. For their individual life, right? Like, man makes plan, God laughs. Somebody out there decides to live, burn it to the ground, like fucking $100,000 jet, in debt, great enjoyment, live their life, and they were destined to get hit by a car and die at 41. They played it right, potentially. It also depends if that's where you get your joy. I can tell you that's not where I get my joy. I know a lot of people do, and that's awesome. But like, I get my joy of sitting courtside at a Knicks game. That requires money. Again, we all are doing it different. I think everybody can do everything if they shut their fucking mouth. Almost all my content is based on people that talk. I would argue my whole framework is about complaining. I think everything's cool if you don't hurt anyone and you don't complain. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And if you're complaining, I'm assuming you're upset. You know what I complain about? I don't want to go to the gym. And guess what? I don't like it. So complaining comes from a place of unhappiness.
I was gonna ask, like, how black and white are you on complaining? Like,
I'm black and white, but that's not, like, I think that's where we're about to go. Like, listen, I was raised in a household that demonized the fuck out of it to a point where I think it went too far. Then you start getting into not sharing, like, real life shit.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fine line here. Like, I am concerned about that part, but like, yeah, I'm visceral to complaining. Like, I think sharing your struggles is healthy. Therapy. It's how you form a good relationship. Real candor.
Hey, appreciate the rose as well, man.
To a point where I think everything starts organic. I'm not guessing if the creative's good. I'm letting the AI algorithms show me that it's good. The algorithm only works by showing people stuff that they will like. Like if you go on my algorithm right now, it's just all Jets football, a little bit of wine, a little bit of business. You know this got good. You know this. All of you are like, oh, I'm getting rid of Facebook. They just showed a watch ad in front of me and I was just talking about a watch. It's listening to me. It wasn't listening to you. You've been liking and looking at watch content for the last week on the platform. Something that everyone needs to know is social media changed heavy in the last 3 years. For the first 15 years of social, it was email marketing. Get as many people to follow you as possible. And then every time you post, a certain percentage of those people would see it. That's what I was built on. Got millions of followers, percentage, build. In the last 3 years, and this is huge for the people in the room that have never done this or are just starting, to keep wildly encouraging. I did not have the fortune of being able to say these things for 15 years on stage. The fact that tomorrow you can start and outflank everybody in the room is crazy. What happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago, is TikTok came in. It used to be called Musical.ly if you had a high school daughter. It became TikTok, and it changed the way things were done. Instead of just posting to your people, when you post now, it could go anywhere based on people's interest of that content. So if you're making content of literally fixing people's windshields, installing, vinyling vans from a marketing standpoint, or protecting paint, installing for solar purposes in a building, whatever you do in here, if you make that content, the fact that that will reach people based on how much AI technology these social networks have, so you can post, have no followers. Literally most of you I know are probably not sitting with a TikTok account that you're pounding with content every single day, and you can post and it will reach people that might have interest in it. That is profound. That is profound. The fact that you can then take a video that does somewhat decent and run 25, or let me say it, so I really need you to hear what I'm about to say. I'm very aware of what the majority of the businesses look like in this room. The fact you can post a video about how to or why this is good, whatever you want to do, we can go into that later. If it does decent, it gets 500 views instead of 6 because you're just starting out. So now you know it's a little bit better content than the last one. And then you can take that video and post it on Facebook and spend $50 in media to amplify it within a 5-mile radius of your shop is profound. We are living in the best opportunity for small businesses to grow their business through marketing in the history of marketing, in the history of small business.
I'm straight, but
$50. 50. Again, I'm trying to remind everybody about the LeBron thing or the people that stood up. You have to get good at this. All I'm asking is for 10 hours of research from all of you. Whether you read books or listen to podcasts or you're good at Google or you like ChatGPT, I don't know how you research. I can't read for shit, so I'd never read one of my fucking books. Others in here love it. Some love books, but they need to do audio. Some have gotten really into AI and like ChatGPT or Perplexity. I don't care how you do it. I just want 10 hours so you know what, at least the baseline of what I know, which is pictures and videos on social media, all 7 platforms. How many people are in B2B here going after B2B clients? Raise your hands. LinkedIn. LinkedIn today is what Facebook was 12 years ago. One more time, how many? Show hands, please. Everybody who's got their hand up right now, this company should post a video or a picture with copy supporting it every day on LinkedIn. Every day. Again, when I say you need to post on LinkedIn every single day, I promise you, one of my favorite things about speaking is watching your fucking faces react to the shit I say. The faces were like, wow, by working. At all times in business, there are ways to market that is a waste of money, and there are ways to market that is so underpriced it will explode your business. Social media is grossly underpriced, completely misunderstood, and can completely change your career. Regardless of what you think about social media, it's ruining the world. It's fucking up the kids. The reality is as business people, your subjective judgment of where people's attention is doesn't matter. Your obligation to build your business is what matters. Knowing there are people in this room who do not do advertising on social, which is disproportionately the driver of you selling more shit, more services, more opportunities, because of what they think about TikTok and China, or Twitter and Elon, or Facebook and Zucks, is why people like me continue to grow. Ideology of your subjective opinion has no business being in the arena of when you're trying to build your business based on what humans are actually doing. Period. So what does that all mean? It means as we sit here today, most of you, no matter what you do day to day, people actually doing the physical labor, whatever it is you do, on your 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 hour, 90 hour work week, that 20% of that time should be made for you as the owner. And I don't want to hear this shit like, Gary, you don't get it. I'm 52. I didn't grow up with this shit. I don't get it. Well, you didn't grow up driving and you figured that out. I'm not interested to come all the way, we're in Orlando. I didn't fucking come to Orlando to hear a room like this. You didn't come to this conference on a Thursday because you're complacent. You didn't come here because you're not interested in growing. Like, what are you doing here? If you were here at this conference, the last thing you should have is an excuse to why you're not doing it. Exactly. You came here because you want to grow. Every person in this room, standing in the back, up here, left, right, every person in this room, in my personal, humble, one man's opinion, must allocate many more hours starting on Friday, tomorrow, to actually learn how pictures and videos and words work on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, so that people call you or email you or direct message you to buy your service. There is nothing you can do, not Google AdWords, not door knocking, not billboards, I don't want to hear, Gary, but I've been in business for 25 years in my area. My word of mouth is awesome. That's great. It's nice. Then why are you here? I'm curious, by show of hands, who would like to do less business next year? Raise your hands. That. So if you're sitting here saying, cool, this guy seems interesting, this is all fine, but I'm not doing the social media thing, you are asking to do less business. Attention, eyes and ears is the only thing that matters. You can't tell me how epic your service is, or how cool your squeegee is, or how rad your service is, if I don't hear it or see it. It is literally like if I was giving this keynote next door in a room with no one in it. We must understand that attention has moved to this device as primary. I also need you to understand something else before we get into it. What is the ROI, the return on investment, of a basketball for LeBron James? I'll give you the answer. Billions. The return on investment of a basketball for LeBron James is billions of dollars. For me, negative 50,000. I've had 2 surgeries on my meniscus. I've not made a fucking penny playing basketball. Negative 50K, maybe more with the time spent on fucking having the heel on a meniscus for 7 hours. There are many people here, actually, this is a very important question based on what I'm starting to say. Raise your hand if you've done some advertising, probably on Facebook and Twitter, but it didn't really work for your business, which makes sense, and it should be very common. Raise your hands. So these individuals I'm particularly concerned about because they're similar to me with basketball. They have spent money and efforts on social media, but it has not been particularly good for their business. It's because they suck at it. This is important to understand. Many of the people that stood up said, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work for you because you weren't good enough at it. You hired the wrong person. You trusted your 23-year-old niece because young kids do it. You yourself gave a role, but instead of building brand, you're just a salesman and you went right in for the fucking sale and nobody wanted to just reply to that. And I can give you the other 7,000 reasons that the people that just stood up did not get return on investment. It's called being good at it. Before we get into the Q&A and all the stuff, I need you to understand the opposite. How many people here have made content and done things on social media and it has worked for their business? Raise your hand. Actually stand up.
Right here. Started my company with social media.
Tahini, the irresistible blend of mild chilies, lime, and sea salt, is perfect for adding flavor your way. What's your way to tahini it?
Really have to hang up
Yeah, I
now.
didn't tell you about my crypto predictions, dog.
Most scammers hate their job.
Get me off this ladder right now.
Let me guess. You're thinking about going to therapy. And as a therapist myself, of course I'm going to say that's a great idea. But first, let's talk about the things they...
This is the only thing I'm passionate about today. Please sit. That visual and knowing, with all due respect, because fuck, I'm at the tippy top of this game. I run an agency today that has 3,000 people in it globally, all over the world. We're a $350 million a year business. I have tons of other companies that completely run in this currency. I got a lot of shit going on. I sit way at the tippy top of this game for the last 20 years, and I can tell you right now, I could take the rest of this keynote telling you everything I'm doing wrong on social media. It's fucking hard. I get it. But just to remind everybody, everything great is hard. Everybody wants this to be easy when it's the single most important thing. Of course it's hard. I'm gonna say it slow. Everything that is actually good is hard. So I come here today very focused on this Thursday. Two things are my focus. One, to spend as much time on Q&A with all of you right now to go into the details on how to make a picture or a video or spend media dollars on Facebook to get customers, on TikTok to get, I am obsessed to leave with 6 or 7 of you taking something from here and acting on it. Because I've learned after 15 years, most of you will listen today, get it, be pumped, and then do nothing about it.
Nah, bro,
so I'm focused on 2 things today. Getting some of the people here to really focus on this marketing. That's number 2. And the number 1 thing I'm focused on today is getting the hell out of here, flying to New York, and watching my New York Jets beat the shit out of the New England Patriots. Ooh, it sounds like there's some Patriot fans in that room. Bandwagon boys. The thing that I love coming to stuff like this, and this is why I said yes to it, you worked to get here. Something happens when you build a little something. Some people start to get a little less worky. Some people get a little complacent. Some people start to take their foot off the pedal. That's fine. I promise you, I have no interest in judging your ambition. I'm just telling you that if you're not doing it, someone else is going to. And I need you to know that. Here's why. It seems upfront until you start doing it. Think about anything you've done in your life, right? Has anybody here grown up in a way where like working out and they finally figured it out and it works for them now? Just raise your hand. I'm one of those people, actually. For those people, remember how hard it was to actually, all those years when you're like, this sucks, I hate it, and then it switches. I really believe that this was exactly what I'm talking about today with marketing. I know a lot of you like, don't like the computers.
Yo, baby daddy.
Or I don't like social, or I don't get it. But I'm telling you, the passion you hear in my voice is because 8-10 years ago, what I was telling you was an opportunity. Today, when I stand in front of you, it's a borderline warning. Private equity firms are going to come into this industry and buy up a bunch of these companies and consolidate them. They will market. 18-year-old Garys are growing up in families around here, and they're going to walk into their mommy and daddy's business, and they will market.
Hey, like
This is too easy when you understand what I'm saying to not do it. It doesn't cost $1 million. I'll say it again. I want you to post, I literally want you to make a video and be like, I'm fucking Ron. This is my shit. This is what we do. We love you, Ohio. Yay. Post it.
Appreciate it.
And then if God willing, for some reason you were funny or you shirt or it was just your moment or you used the right adjective or the right analogy and that video does, I want you to spend $50 to $100 to amplify your media in a 5 or 10 mile radius of your business. That will work. Literally, if I stop talking now, left, because my flight had an issue, I have to be at the Jets game. And everybody here just did that. Just made a video every day and posted it on social media, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, with some copy, your phone number, your email, and spent $50 amplifying it in a 5 or 10 mile radius. And the reason I keep saying that, because I haven't broken that down, is when you post on social, it can go anywhere, right? So if you didn't hear the full context here and you post and it gets 10,000 views, but you get no business, you're like, what happened, Gary? I'd be like, well, the videos were watched in Kansas, gone, and you're in New Jersey and nobody's coming to your store. So these are the levels of details that I'm passionate about. This is the opportunity, and it is bigger than ever, period. There's more people on these platforms than ever. The ability to never have done it before and break out is finally here because what happened on TikTok is now everywhere. I'm sure a lot of you, whether you use social media for business or pleasure, realize that the algorithm is different now, right? Some of you, by the way, I get 25 DMs a day from people saying, oh, Gary Vee, I just saw your video on Instagram. I haven't seen you for 6 months. I forgot about you. I'm pumped I got to see it. I'm like, no, the fucking Instagram, but the algorithm. This is where we're at. And so you're seeing that as well. And this is actually the opportunity room. So there's a ton of opportunity. It's very real. And my main overall concern is that people don't understand it. Again, I'll be honest with you. I'm getting pretty close to just going right into Q&A. Actually, they asked me to shoot this cannon. I feel like I should do that, right? How do I fucking do this shit? Who wants one? This is a lot more fun than I thought. Let me just try this one. Cannon. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Who wants this shit? Oh, that was a huge fucking drop. Huge fucking drop. All right, that's it. Sorry, we're down. Sorry, they're just t-shirts. All right, here we go. Before I get into Q&A, there's other things I want to talk about. For example, let me give you a for instance that I think this industry has completely wrong. When customers give you negative reviews on Google, you don't delete them, asshole. Because they screenshot it and then they call you out for trying to manipulate the market. What you do instead is you reply and say, hey, Ronnie Pants 49. Sorry about this. This doesn't sound like what we thought happened. Here's my email and my phone number. Please call us. We would love to solve it. Me foreseeing that is a lot more exciting than you deleting it. Understood? There's a lot of devils to the details. The top line I want to get away with here is, it's kind of like, make pretend this was a health and fitness thing. My top line is, hey, guys, gals, if you eat like shit and you don't exercise and you fucking vape and do all the wrong things, you're gonna die earlier. Eat well and exercise and good things will happen. Of course, I'm aware that a coconut can hit you in the head and you'll die, but you'll have a better percentage of that not happening. That's what I'm telling you here. In 2024, going into 2025, tech companies, big companies that are bigger than you, we know what we're talking about, and the consolidation that is about to happen in this industry, and the youngsters that are coming up in these family businesses are gonna take your money. So let me ask the question before we go, and then we're ready to rock. On this top line thesis, before we go into the devils of the details, how many people are planning on retiring in the next 5 years? Not because you're gonna crush it and buy a private jet, but because you're old and you're finished. Raise your hands. Okay, so for the 8 of you, you can take some level of what I'm talking about with a grain of salt. You might be able to hold on by holding your breath and crossing your fingers and doing the same shit and just going to fucking fishing and golf. But for the rest of you, I'm gonna say it slow again. 5, 10 years ago when I talked about all this stuff in all those other books, it's all the same shit. It's just tweaked to the realities of the world we now live in. It was a luxury of growth. As I stand with you in Orlando today, it is still a luxury of growth, but if you don't do it, it's about to become the beginning of your demise. You will lose market share. Some of you already know you have. So if we're here, let's get serious about the one thing. Look, you have to manage employees, and I want to go into that. I mean, 12 and a half, I mean, how you build a good culture, how do you retain people, how do you not have people like build them up and then they start their own business? Like, I would love to talk to you about all the dynamics you deal with.
Thank you for
But out of all the things you do for a living, understanding how to do proper marketing will have the biggest impact on the paycheck you take home, period. Thank you.
We hired 3 to 4 different social media companies to handle it for us because we don't know English, but we don't know enough to really do what we need to do.
Heard.
We're on our 4th one now, and she doesn't push Facebook, she doesn't push Twitter, she's all about Google Ads, which based on what I heard from you, it seems like she's probably not the right person.
Well, you know what's funny? To her credit, Google Ads is sales, not marketing. The reason she's pushing Google Ads is she doesn't want you to fire her like you did the last 3, and you can measure Google Ads. Right? So I actually think she's being smart. I think this is a game of and. I'm not telling anyone here to stop Google Ads. In fact, if you rewind my talk, I told a lot of people that didn't raise their hand to do Google Ads. But don't be twisted. Google Ads is not marketing. Google Ads is selling. Someone types in, I need to fix my windshield, enter, you show up. That's not marketing, that's transacting. So I think, she's not doing social media, she's doing digital media. If she was doing marketing, or you were, or if we were in the office right now, I would explain to you why YouTube Shorts would help your Google AdWords, because if you're this deep in it, you know what your CAC is on your conversion on Google AdWords. You know that for every $219, you get a customer. I know that if you posted a video every day on YouTube Shorts, in 6 months, that $219 would go down to $113. Cool. And let me finish that story. The reason it would go down to 113 is when people decide to buy from Google Ads, they buy on things they know. Sometimes it's just convenience, the first one. Sometimes it's a good headline, free shipping or whatever. But a lot of times it's because they know it. The more they know your business, the more they will convert. The more you put out brand, the more people know it. That's why I love being out in front, because there's nothing bigger of a brand or more ownable than your face. Sir.
What suggestions or ideas or thoughts do you have around, on the manufacturing side, the amplification, the enablement, things that we can do to help our customers in this room grow their social presence?
So let's hold on to the mic. Are you saying that you're interested in actually helping them grow their audience if they're your exclusive retailers?
Essentially, yeah. I mean, helping them amplify to the car, right?
I mean, the answer is money and strategy. Like, what can you do? You can give them $1,000 a month for media amplification of content that you approve. You could. Oh, they like that. Another thing you can do is you can make content that they can green screen, right? So a lot of people here are going to ask me in this line, but what if I make? But here's the good news. A lot of you consume social media content. So one of my favorite pieces of content, especially for a crew like this, is taking a headline from an article and then just talking over it. You guys know what I mean by green screen, where people talk over like articles in the back? You usually see it for politics or pop culture, but you can do it for your industry. So you can make articles, right, content with like important headlines that you then email to all the people in this database, right? And tell them now green screen.
Oh, got me a thumbs up from a real smart motherfucker.
A green screen over this, like this new technology or something. So there's a lot of ways you can bring value. It comes down to executing against that beautiful intent.
Yeah, well, if anybody's interested, let's talk. Okay.
Well, I'm interested in a $3,000 a month. Thanks, bud.
What's up?
I have a question about what type of content marketing strategy you recommend to get in front of general contractors who may not be social media savvy or handle social media much.
There's two ways I would think about that. First and foremost, for sure, LinkedIn's targeting against contractor job descriptions is real. Now, to your point, do I think general contractors, especially solo or small ones, are in LinkedIn all day? They're not, right? But you still gotta test it to see. Number two, by far my favorite move on this one, I'm gonna give you a very, very clever move that I think a lot of you should use. I think you should market to the children of the contractors. You in a video where it says, is your dad a general contractor?
Yeah.
And the opening line is like, hey kids, is your dad a general contractor? He needs to know this because he'll make more money and he'll buy you a new car. Got it? Shit like that. So one of the things that people don't think enough about is marketing to someone who can pass it on to someone.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. Sweetie that.
Just want to say, you completely changed the way I did business. We made 301 and then 5,000 lists just this year, so we're on track to do 8 figures purely from implementing what you need.
Sir, if you could just repeat that one time slowly. And go a little more detail, because very frank, I just realized that I should sit down and go home because I know how humans work. I'm talking and people are listening. However, you're of this. You've been listening to it and you just said 8 figures. That means $10 million plus. I have a funny, how many people here would like to do $10 million plus next year? Raise your hands. Great. So I am a funny feeling if I give you the floor with a little detail that you may be the single reason we get this accomplished, which is my goal today, which is that just like you just did for me, because you can imagine how good that makes me feel. I'm predominantly here to get emails or messages on social in 3 years from people in this room saying, you changed everything for me. This is epic. So break that down. What was it or how was it? Break it down a little bit because this is going to be valuable.
Yeah. So probably just for background, we sell websites and SEO to PDFs and detailing businesses, but specifically what Gary said that I listened to and just didn't get through my thick head for a couple of years was get in front of a camera and just start being real and educate and serve.
But don't sell, right? Again, let me give you the single best thing you can do, single best video, because we're gonna now play a little bit here, that a lot of you can do. If the video started with, hey, do you have a cracked windshield? Let me teach you how not to come to my company and charge you for it and fix it.
Moonlight walk or something.
That is the single best ad you can make.
Yeah, so when someone comes to us for a website, we will ask them, why should we not do a website for you today?
Yes.
What is the reason you really need us? Can we fix it without us?
Yes. And by the way, and fucking mean it. Like what I just told you wasn't, there was no, notice how it got real quiet? It was almost like everyone was waiting for like, and then what? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't want to sell a website we don't really need.
Period.
It's real. So I was hoping you could talk to.
Please.
These are my customers, right?
Yes.
And the thing that worked for me greatly, and obviously everything you have a lot of great knowledge, and what worked for me personally was just shutting up, getting on camera, and teaching. And I think what a lot of these people might have is they're not struggling with getting on camera potentially, but maybe what to say.
Correct.
And I was wondering,
let's talk about it. Everybody here would have an unlimited flow of employees for the rest of their career if they made a video every day teaching the craft. Literally teaching. Hey, I'm John, I've been in this business for 15 years. Here's my video, I'm gonna show you how to actually do it so you can start your own business. People, bro, this is church. Life is fucking church. Like, you fucking do good shit for people, I have a good news for you. Good shit will happen for you. There was something I told my sister, not to throw her under the bus because she's my favorite, but after, she's 3 years younger than me. This was about 7 years ago, so I'm 41 at the time. So after about 35 years of us jamming together, I finally just was on a call with her one day and I said, Liz, I was like, I got a new concept. Everything you think, just do the reverse. And we reference it a lot because it was obviously like a little tongue-in-cheek, but there were some things she did and it's like actually been meaningful for her life. I will tell you that this moment, what I'm trying to tell you, if you're getting the energy of the room right now, the less selling you do and the more value you do in environments that you thought historically were selling environments will actually get you more money. Bring value in your content. It can be anything. By the way, there's people that do business with me because I'm a Jets fan. There's people that do business with me because I like wine. There's people that do business with me because I fuck with sneakers. Like, you don't have to just make glass content. Talk about golf. Talk about the local. Here's a fucking brain twist. If you review, how many of you have like a really good deli in the general area that everybody fucks with? It's like the best deli in the area. Raise your hand. Raise it. I just want to see how many. For the 11 of you,
just walk by these old pictures of
make a video reviewing the fucking deli hoagie of choice, post it, and watch people in the general area become aware of you, click who you are, because they're like, yeah, I like that sandwich too, and like, oh, he does glass bread. I need a windshield replacement. A fucking hoagie video will lead to business.
Or hold the hoagie while you're tinting and say, what's wrong with it?
100%.
Thank you, Gary.
You're welcome. Thank you, brother. Congrats.
I just wanted to ask your
goddamn Florida, goddamn weather, dark as fuck.
And stock market and church's reputation.
Great question. My friends, the only people that in act control who's trashing you, trashes your reputation with, is people you don't want to do business with anyway. Let me start and say it nice and slow for all the people that clapped for that question. Because I want to take fear out of your body. The only people that believe a troll. Now, when I again, prepping for this, when I looked at some reviews, I got bad news. If 37 people are giving you 1 star, you suck. They're not a troll, they're right. You're a fucking troll. Fix your fucking business. That's number one. Number two, I know, especially local business, get overly fixated. They got like 68 4s and 5s, and then they get a 1, and they're all bent out of shape. They're not putting you out of business. I told you again, what do I do with trolls, especially for the first 15 years of my life? I don't think of them as trolls. I think of them as 1 of 2 people. One, they're actually right, and they had bad experience, and I need to fix it. How about we do that? We've gotten lazy and have labeled people trolls instead of being accountable and fixing our shit. That's number one. Or number two, they're a very sad person. They're hurting and they're taking it out on you, and so they're trying to tear you down. In both scenarios, I'm approaching it with compassion, sympathy, empathy, and accountability. If people see that you're replying every time, saying, I'm here, this is my email, I would like to fix this, you gotta give me the details. I've never heard about this. This is not like us. Let's talk. You will not be hurt. So again, I need people here to first be accountable, deliver on their intent. And if it's, God forbid, something egregious, and the more you grow, the more you'll get it. Honestly, and this is just another thing for people that don't want to put themselves out there. When people, can I break this down for you? Could you imagine living a life where you go around the internet and social media and try to talk shit about people? It's a sad life. I'm not mad at these people. I feel bad for these people. So I really think that's the answer. We need to be more accountable, first and foremost. And second, we need to be public in our responses to these negative reviews. It will help your business tremendously. In fact, many people, the data is pretty clear to me on this, many people actually prefer to work with a business that has a couple of bad reviews and they responded to it than something that's fully 5-starred, because we become so cynical that we don't even fucking believe all the 5 stars. I'm starting to think about putting 1 star in some of my own shit just to get it. I'm serious. I'm like, Wine Library, I'm like, Dad, your store sucks. Like, you know, like, I'm being serious here. There's like a real opportunity for us to be a little more human. So that's my answer. But I'm telling you, I watched your faces. A lot of you deep down know, how about being accountable? Maybe one of your employees did mess up. My employees, I mess up every day, let alone my employees. Sometimes our companies make mistakes. Let's own them. That would be good for your business.
I don't know too much about him. I just know I seen something Kevin Hart was talking about.
Cool.
When you're talking about bringing into videos, I just want to know, do you let your videos grow organically first, or do you put them on YouTube right away?
I do all of it. Like I said earlier, Jackson, everything starts organic. I'm not guessing anymore like I did for the first 15 years of social. I'm not guessing if the creative's good. I'm letting the AI algorithms show me that it's good. The algorithm only works by showing people stuff that they think it will be good for, that they will like. Like if you go on my algorithm right now, it's just all fucking Jets football, a little bit of wine, a little bit of business. Like these things, this shit has gotten good. You know this, all of you are like, oh fuck, I'm getting rid of fucking Facebook. They just showed a watch ad in front of me and I was just talking about a watch. It's listening to me. You guys are all fucking conspiracy theorists. It wasn't listening to you, you've been fucking liking and looking at watch content for the last fucking week on the platform. So, no, I do everything now. The best practices of the last 2-3 years is everything's organic. Then if there's an over-indexing or virality, then it gets media, like that gentleman with the Lakers hat. Then I tweak it to make, I don't really do, for my world, I don't do much boosting, but for Wine Library I do. So we put out wine content. If something does well, even though it might be a video teaching everybody here why stop drinking fucking Santa Margarita Pinot Grigio, it's garbage, and here's a better Pinot Grigio, but we may add copy to more business sales after it does well as organic brand. Got it? That's been a big shift, you know what I mean, Jackson? It's because, Jackson, the other thing, just so you know, is, as you know, best performance marketing pre-iOS 14.5, they changed the targeting capabilities. So now the all variant testing of like 5 different things, seeing which one has the best, that changed. So now building on brand, it just will really work. I apologize, I'm so sorry, bro. I have to run, thank you. Mike, look, on some real shit, thank you. Thank you.
Personally, so I always feel comfortable in that. When I was homeless, this is the only sweater I had. So
ladies, look at me. Now look at your man. Now look back at me. Yeah. Now look at your man once more. Look back at me. Is your man a macho man like I am? Probably not. If you'd like him to be a macho man, what's the best way to do it? Become an underwater welder. If you'd like to be an underwater welder, tell him to put down his game controller, get on the internet, go to oceancorp.com.
You picked a really good fucking time to be alive in this age. The opportunities, I think a lot about us that came up in the game pre-internet. When I think about what you have at your disposal in your phone to do business, my mom literally, she's like, if you had the internet and social media, you would have never graduated high school. You must weaponize time as you go on this journey. It is the biggest asset you have. Use it to get deep, to get knowledgeable. Entrepreneurship is the best if you're an entrepreneur. If you're not, it's real bad. Because what's crazy about entrepreneurship is the closest thing to sports. It has merit. You can't hide behind being crappy at your job and you get fired. You're like, the boss was a dick. And they're like, yeah, the boss is a dick. You can hide in corporations. You can hide in academia. You can hide in government. You can hide in parenting. You can hide in most society. The greatest thing about sports is you can't hide. Somebody wins, somebody loses, we watch it. The next closest thing is business, is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is getting so cool that people want to do it for it, for the glow of
Right, that
it,
can encompass
for the brand of it to be cool. That's great
work
to a
with
point.
anybody.
If you leave with anything here today, this is not to talk you out of being an entrepreneur. This is to talk you in to being who you actually are. I promise you, the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 at Facebook made a lot more money than the number 1 in 99.99999% of businesses. If you leave with anything in my talk, anything, please leave with, it is remarkably okay and actually wildly recommended to actually be who you actually are. And you might be an operator, and you might be a salesperson, and you might be a charismatic leader, and you might be a developer, you may be a lot of things, and you may be a CEO founder. But please do not demonize all the other things you could be on a winning team because of the framework of the explosion of entrepreneurship. It is absolutely, in my mind, the greatest. But I just got lucky, and my mom and dad had sex at the right exact moment. And I think about that a lot. Not my parents having sex. I think a lot about just DNA. I just think a lot about like how many things come natural to me and why that's important in my success, and how many things don't come natural to me, and my thought process on, do I want to get better at this a little bit because I have to close this vulnerability, or do I want to get better at this because it really matters, or do I want to do what I have done my whole career and I've watched many others do from afar or up close on boards, being as an investor, of understanding some shit you just suck at, and that's okay too. That's why you fucking hire other people to do it.
He wanted to own the Jets.
So to me, self-awareness would be the biggest thing. The other thing is your timing's impeccable. You picked a really good fucking time to be alive in this age. The opportunities, I think a lot about us that came up in the game pre-internet. When I think about what you have at your disposal in your phone to do business, my mom literally, and I joked about this a couple weeks ago, she's like, college, she's like, if you had the internet and social media, you would have never graduated high school. And then she like took a beat and she's like, maybe even middle school. The timing of your opportunity is obnoxious. It's remarkable because there's so much opportunity. It's also a little bit different because you're competing against everyone. We're really competing against everyone. But some of the trends, and this is where I hope to get into Q&A, the timing is remarkable because there's so much going on. There is so much going on right now of opportunity in the world, and there's a couple of trends that I want to call out before we go into the Q&A. And I'm just going to give you like straight stuff that like, if you're sitting in this room and you're hyped about your journey, but you don't know exactly what company you want to start or what you want to build, I'm just going to give you a couple of macro things that I see. One of the core pillars of my career is seeing what consumers are about to do a little bit earlier than others. The first one, and it's not even close, live shopping, social live shopping is here. It's been in China for 7-8 years. It's very easy for you to look at what's been going on over there, see the pattern recognition, but it's tipped. It's tipped in North America. If you have an apparel brand, if you want to start a retail store, if you want to start a beauty brand, shit, if you want to sell anything, I am more interested in pushing you to do 20 to 50 hours of homework on live shopping social than opening a store, than opening a Shopify. I know that's sacrilege in Canada. Though you should open a Shopify. You should contemplate, well, you're going to need it to integrate into the back end, but instead of affiliate, which is also a great move, live social shopping, TikTok Shop, an app called Whatnot. How many people here are familiar with Whatnot? Raise your hands. 9. Like and I'm telling you, it's big, and it's real. And so when I thought a lot about like, what am I gonna want to talk about? I'm like, I want to leave them with tangible shit. Like this is exactly the point in your life where you can like leave right here and go get a $1 cheeseburger and get the fucking work. And so live shopping is real serious. I highly recommend you looking at that. Next, for all these